Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Healthcare Professionals Opportunity webinar tonight. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to check in today and see what's really possible and see what really is out there for you. And you can see from the screen that's just starting there, it says, what does your dream life look like? And that's really the question that we want to start this webinar off with, is you thinking, what does your dream life look like? What is your perfect everyday? Are you doing that? Or are you making sacrifices or doing things that you may not actually want to be doing right now? And really thinking, hey, maybe there's another way to do this, another way to have really everything that you want and really a lot more. So for those people who don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Michelle Staton-Dickey, and I'm a chiropractor. And I've been in practice now for 14 years and graduated from CMCC. And I really got started with Isagenix because many years ago, about 4 years ago, I started to think to myself, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I had been in practice then for 10 years, and I was really looking to see what was really going to be my exit strategy. When was I really going to practice to? And also, what was going to give me a little bit more freedom, because I found that even though I had the flexibility to choose my own hours, I could practice the way I wanted to, I had a lot of autonomy. The thing was that I was still kind of trapped to my practice, and I really had to be there evenings, and I had to be there in times that when my patients really are going to be able to come in. And it was then that I started to think about what other ways could I create a revenue for myself so that I could allow myself a little bit more freedom. And that's when I started looking around at things. I mean, in the past, I had done things like supplements. Many healthcare professionals have done the same. Metagenics, The Royal, Douglas Labs, Standard Process, all these different supplements. And that was great, but it really wasn't a revenue builder. I had associates in my office. I've had partnerships. I've done weight loss programs. I've done all these different things in my office to really create another revenue stream, but nothing really matched what I was looking for this time around. And what I was looking for were really three things. I was looking for something that had a residual income capacity. So what that really meant is I was looking for something that could be passive, so I didn't have to be at my office in order to generate that income, and it would also be residual. So once I started to create the income, it would keep coming in. So that was the first thing I was looking for. The second thing I was looking for was a legacy, something that I could in turn give to my children, will down to my family, to really create something that my family could be proud of and be excited about. And the third thing that I was really looking for is something that I could serve thousands of people. I think that most healthcare professionals go into their line of work because they want to serve others. They want to help people create a healthier, happier life for themselves. And we all know that we can only help the people in our office unless we find something that we can do online and something that we can do outside of our office to serve these people. So that's what I was really looking for, and I really researched things, and that's when I found Isagenix, and I partnered with them because they were that passive income. They did create that residual income, and in the last 4 years I've been able to create a 6-figure residual income, and that now happens every year. And it's not tied to my practice. It's not tied to a specific spot because it's online. So that is what's so exciting about it. The second thing is that it is a legacy. This is something that I will will to my children. And that's the beautiful part of this compensation plan, is that you can do that. So when I'm making $1 million a year with this company, when I pass on and my husband does, we'll be able to will that to our children, and they will make this money, which is, exciting for them because it's better than a life insurance policy. They're going to get this year after year, and now they could be great human beings and really do what ignites them, what gives them passion. The The third thing is that it does allow me to serve thousands of people well beyond the walls of my practice. And again, over the last 4 years, I've been able to personally help about 140, 150 people get started with Isagenix. And I have over 6,000 people in my team. So I've directly or indirectly helped over 6,000 people achieve greater health or wealth over the last 4 years. And that's beyond what I could do in my practice in my hometown. The other thing that I really love about Isagenix is that they have amazing products. And, of course, we cannot be doing anything that we don't believe in ourselves and that we don't think works. And over the last 4 years, I've been able to help countless patients, friends, family get started with a program that's really changed their life from that health perspective. And that's what really excites me. And it really excites me for the last reason the most, and that's because of the time freedom that it's given me. You can see here's my family, my husband Alistair, and our 4 children, Simon, Matthew, Shannon, and Ian. And what excites me the most is that I have more freedom to be with my family. And in the past, I haven't taken a lot of vacations because we all know, you take a week off work, and it's not just the expense of the trip, but it's now a week lost revenue. And our expenses still happen even though we're not here. And in the past, I just haven't taken that time to do those vacations as much as I should have. And now that we have this residual income coming in, we've been able to do that. And this summer, took a great trip to San Diego, and there we pet dolphins. We fed the penguins, and we went to Legoland. We did things that our children still talk about and are going to remember for a lifetime. And that means more to me than anything else, and it's really the key that drives me forward with this opportunity. And at the beginning, it was just about sharing it, and I shared it with 3 people to start things off. And I started off with sharing it with a friend of mine who's a nutritionist, and she took a look at the program and thought, you know what, I want to try it myself, and this would be an easy and simple way that I could introduce weight loss and energy and performance into my practice. I also introduced it with a personal trainer who was looking for a nutritional program to supplement her training, and then I introduced it to one of my best friends who's also a chiropractor and who's really partnered with me on this journey, and that's Dr. Renata, and I'll pass it over to her.
Thanks, Michelle, and good evening and hello, everyone. As Michelle indicated, I'm Renata. I'm one of Michelle's good friends and colleagues. We've known each other for almost 2 decades right now, and I have to say, Michelle did approach us a few times with regards to Isagenix, and I remember the first time she approached us, I think our youngest of 3 children was only 2, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, Michelle, you know what, I would love to take a look at it, but I don't even have time to. Running 2 practices, busy with the kids, running around, life was pretty hectic, and I really felt overwhelmed. I felt, things were going well, but I was working really hard, and I didn't think that I could allocate even 5 minutes to taking a look at this opportunity. So I'll just quickly show you, this is our family. Like I'm sure many of you on the call tonight do have, might have children, so you know how complicated sometimes things are juggling both our practices, our patients, and our children. We all, obviously, as healthcare practitioners, love people. We love helping people. We love healing people, and that is our priority. And then once we start having kids, sometimes our priority shifts. And for us, family is the most important thing. And so when Michelle really showed me the opportunity that Isagenix could provide with respect to allowing more family time and more freedom to enjoy these precious times with our kids, to create these amazing memories with them. I had children to raise them, not to have someone else raise them. And when she showed us the actual business model of Isagenix, I really was excited about it because I could actually see me still loving to practice, still treating my clientele and patients, but still being able to tweak my hours so that I'm able to spend more hours with my kids after school, with their extracurricular activities, seeing them grow through sports, through trips, etc. And one of the biggest changes for us personally actually just happened this past year. And thanks to what we have been building for ourselves in Isagenix with respect to healthy lifestyles for ourselves and our families, our children, our patients, our professional athletes, we've been able to create this residual income that Michelle was talking about. And, to be doing an extra 5-6 figure residual income a year, does change the quality of your family life, of what you're able to experience together. And for us this past year, we're actually able to, the first time, all of us 5, to go across seas to Europe for 3 weeks. And I have to say, this is the first time in 10 years that we were able to take, step away from our practice, frankly, for more than a week. So to create these moments of life, and that's kind of what life is all about, is, having these great experiences with those people that we love most. I really think this is an amazing opportunity for everyone to seriously take a look at. If you potentially want a change, or if you potentially want to start extending who you're helping beside your own clinic walls, or if you potentially want to start increasing, the amount of income or financial choices that you might have with your family, as well as time with them. I think this is a fabulous opportunity, and I'm very excited that you guys are taking a look at this. The next person I'd like to introduce too is my husband, who's also a chiropractor, Dr. Paul. And what really intrigued Paul to Isagenix is actually their uncompromised and amazing products. So without further ado, Paul, take it over.
Thanks, Renata. Thanks for Michelle for having me on this webinar today. So in the past, I've been studying high-performance sport nutrition for about 16, 17 years. And I realized that, when a world champion comes into your office, it's actually very easy to make them worse and very, very difficult to make them better. Because if you can move them 2 or 3, 4% improvement in endurance, power, strength, you've done your job. So I really started to study nutritional companies globally. So I started to look outside of Canada, outside of the US, and I started to look at companies in the UK, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, because essentially I wanted the world's best nutrition. And so this thus started my quest of, high performance nutrition. So when Michelle introduced Isagenix to me, I actually really didn't want to look at it because I was, I never heard of this company before, and I study under the top high performance sport nutritionists in the world, and the name Isagenix really never, crossed my path. So I mean, why would I even look at it? But everything Michelle has ever recommended to Renata and I has been 100% on point. So I decided to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll take a quick look. And when I looked at the product line, I was actually completely shocked because it was higher grade than the the strength and conditioning coach for the U.S. Olympic team, from everything that they were recommending for the U.S. Olympic team. So I said, like, holy moly, like, how can a line be this high quality? And then when I started studying the line in more detail, from start to finish, I said to Renata, you know what? I'm going to take this. My pro athletes are going to take this. My kids are going to take this. This is something that we're going to take, for the next 20 plus years. And just to put things in perspective, I've done consultation calls for pro athletes, NHL teams, and when you have like specifically like an NHL team, when you have a conference call with with everybody who connect to that, and they start trying to basically find holes in the product line, and they can't, you've got high quality product line, not just a high quality product line, but the best product quality line in the world. And I can stand behind that, not as a company statement, but as a factual statement. And we look at Isagenix, what I also love is they pour millions of dollars into research. This is not a copycat company. They actually do all their own independent research. And we know the Isagenix 30-day system, the studies have come out that you've got 24 pounds of weight loss, you got 17% decrease in body fat, 33% decrease in visceral fat, which is the bad fat around your organs, 9% increase in lean muscle mass, and 44% toxin release. And we compare it against the heart healthy diet, which is, for all our American friends or Canadian friends that are on this call, that is the U.S. Medically endorsed diet for healthy weight loss. It's the heart healthy diet. And when we compare it to Isagenix, we have 4 times more fat loss, 4 times more increased lean muscle mass, and 2 times more metabolism, and 3 times toxin release. Now, I've got a lot of pushback with the Isagenix system where people have come up to me and said, Paul, this cleanse business, this 30-day cleansing, toxin release, this is not true. Okay, there's no studies that have indicated that cleansing works or you can release toxins from the body. Well, that statement was true up until now, because Isagenix has released, to my knowledge, the very first clinically double-blinded clinical study to show that their cleanse system actually releases toxins. It's not just releasing toxins, it releases 3 times more toxins than the heart healthy diet. So we are, to my knowledge, the first proven clinical program to release toxins. So that's a pretty powerful statement. And you can take that clinical trial, you can drop it onto your family doctor's office, you can take it to any healthcare professional, and it's a white paper and peer reviewed, and so it's a very powerful statement behind Isagenix. And this is what I love, is because they back everything by science. They don't copy anybody else, and their product is based on the Isoline shake, and 24 grams of protein, energy, fueling carbs, and good fats. Essentially, this is the product that really blew my brain, because the main ingredient in the Isoline shake is 100% grass-fed New Zealand whey protein, which is considered the best protein in the world. It's not a debate, it's not an argument. Amongst every high-performance sport nutritionist globally, it's a unified front that 100% grass-fed New Zealand whey is the best protein in the world. And not to get into a technical explanation here, but it's really simple. It contains the highest percentage of branch chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, valine. So if you're interested in the maximum recovery, maximum growth, maximum repair, then you want the highest percent of naturally occurring branch chain amino acids, which is found in 100% grass-fed New Zealand whey. And I love the fact that they're using concentrate over isolate. And again, concentrate is far superior to isolate. And yes, we know that isolate has higher percentage of protein compared to concentrate, but concentrate has all those immune system stimulating, boosting factors. And every single high-performance sport nutritionist globally agrees that immune system regulation far outweighs 10% more protein content, in your shake. If you're going to choose between the two, do you want 10% more protein, or do you want 10% less protein, but contain all those immune system stimulating factors? That's a no-brainer, because anybody who's training hard, forget about athletes, let's just say you and I with working kids, and we're stressed, and when we're stressed our immune system goes down, we can't recover, we can't repair, it just creates havoc on our health. So immune system upregulation is incredibly important. And that's why I love, and I got blown away, because I rarely, almost never see this specific type of protein in any product anywhere. So I was an instant fan. And we've got Cleanse for Life. Again, I talked about that Isagenix produced this clinical study that showed that we can release toxins. And this is the product that's doing this, Cleanse for Life, a synergistic blend of cleansing herbs and botanicals to nourish your body while gently limiting impurities. Key benefits: Cleanse Day support weight loss, metabolism, promotes detoxification, supports liver, immune, and cellular health. So it's a phenomenal product, and this is really part of what's called an intermittent fasting program. And intermittent fasting has been it has been the big rage in the last couple of years of, hey, for bodybuilders and fitness models who want to get that lean six-pack and say, holy smokes, you know what, I can drop my blood pressure, I can increase my insulin sensitivity, I can regulate my blood sugar levels, I can regulate my cholesterol level by doing an intermittent fast. Yeah, you know what? Isagenix has been doing that for years, not in the last year or 2 years. They've been doing it for over 10 years. So again, another reason why Isagenix is way ahead of the curve. These are called nutritional truths, by the way. Nutritional truths don't change today. They're not going to change tomorrow, and they didn't change yesterday. And so when you're picking a company that you want to back and support, you want to look at them, at least what I do, is based on their nutritional philosophy. And when you see a company that's embedded in nutritional truth, that's called a foundation. When you have a foundation like that, it doesn't rock, it doesn't change, it doesn't move. It's going to stand the test of time. So it's another reason why Isagenix really blew me away as part of this Cleanse for Life intermittent fasting program built in. And of course, we've got Ionic Supreme. Adaptogens to help combat the effects of environmental, mental, and physical stressors. So essentially, life is crazy, right? We've got businesses to run, we've got bills to pay, we've got kids, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. And under stress, we have a hormone called cortisol that gets released. And cortisol in small amounts in the right timing is obviously very beneficial, but unfortunately that's not the way life works. Cortisol gets released under high amounts of stress, and it lowers immune system, impedes recovery, sleep disturbances. So if you can control cortisol, you can basically change your life, change an athlete's life, change your husband's life, change your wife's life, change life for the better in every single aspect. And this was really pioneered by the Russians or the Soviets 50, 60 years ago. And it's only recently that North America has been kind of introduced to adaptogens. About 16, 17 years ago, I was in school in Chicago, and I heard about this word adaptogens from Ben Tabachnik. He's a strength conditioning coach for the former Soviet Union. And I spoke to Ben back then, and Ben gave me like 200 pages of Russian research converted to English, and I thought it was this big superstar in high-performance nutrition, being way ahead of the curve. And so I was so excited to talk to Jim Coover, one of the primary owners of Isagenix, about this story. And he looks at me and he goes, 16 years ago, Ben? He goes, yeah, him and I are friends. Him and I used to work on that product together. So, here I am thinking I'm way ahead of the curve in high-performance sport nutrition, and clearly I'm behind the curve. And clearly Isagenix is, again, ahead of the curve. Another reason why I support Isagenix 100%. And then we've got, obviously, a life-changing product called Ageless Essentials with Product B. Isagenix targets the root cause of accelerating ages, provides nutrients, nutritional support, easy-to-use AM and PM packs. And this, in short, is multivitamin, multi-mineral, essential fatty acids, vitamin C, antioxidant, CoQ10, resveratrol, all in one AM and PM pack. It's just simply awesome. And I love this product because, people come up to me and they say, Paul, I'm not a supplement person. I get I get all my nutrition from Whole Foods. And, I just stand back and I laugh because that's a romantic concept, okay? That doesn't exist in North America. Our soils are done. They've been overfarmed. The nutrient density out of the soils is completely gone. Okay, so you're dreaming if you think you're getting nutrition out of your food, and it's even organic food, because organic food today is much, much different than organic food 70 or 80 years ago. And unfortunately, a lot of the data that you're reading on nutrient content is not current data. It's not today in 2015. It's from 15, 60 years ago. So it's completely off target. And yes, admittedly, myself, despite doing high performance nutrition for athletes, I was getting completely out of shape. Just too much stress, too much cortisol, clearly, and lack of sleep. And one day, Renata grabbed me and just said, Paul, you got to get back into shape. So I looked at the Isagenix 30-day cleanse system with the intermittent fasting program built in, and I just said, you know what? This is the most powerful system in the world. It's the most powerful system I've ever seen with the best ingredients in the world. There's nothing that comes even close to it. And I challenge anybody on this call to actually pick up the phone and call me out on that. because I've looked at everything. And so I put it to the test. I basically did, 3 days a week, heavy weight training for 45 minutes. I did 0 cardio, and in 20 weeks I released 32 pounds, went 24% body fat to 9% body fat. And that's the power of nutrition, because we know to create positive body composition changes, 75% of it is nutrition. It's not working out. Mind you, you combine the two together and you can get pretty cool results. But let's face it, you can get spectacular results just on amazing nutrition, and that's what Isagenix offers. And of course, we have my beautiful wife, Renata, who just said, okay, Paul, you know what? You did it. I'm going to follow the same program. And you know what? She did it in less time, in only 12 weeks, and she only did 10 minutes of weight training with 0 cardio. And 3 kids later, all natural births, mind you, at home. And bang, 6-pack abs and amazing guns. Like, how spectacular is that? So Isagenix offers solutions, for different categories. We've got weight loss solutions for people who fall into that, who need that weight loss program. We've got energy and performance solutions. So maybe an athlete, who doesn't need to lose weight, who wants to increase their energy, increase their performance, maybe put muscles, lean muscle on. We have that pack. We have healthy aging, so for our older population who wants to have more energy, more vitality, it's obviously a phenomenal solution. And obviously the big one here is wealth creation, which is phenomenal. So when you combine these 4 components together, Isagenix is a system that you want to take a look at seriously, and when you make the decision, you really want to, it's a lifetime decision, because it'll dramatically change your life from a health perspective and from a wealth perspective. And on that note, I'm going to pass it off to Dr. Michelle to explain some of the more details of Isagenix.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. It's so great to always hear you talk about the products, because every time I kind of just learn a little something new about everything. So thank you for sharing all that stuff with us today. And I think it's clear, Dr. Paul has vetted so many different products. He works with all these elite athletes, and when he says this is the best shake, it really is the best shake. So putting the products aside, when we look at the company of Isagenix, we could just look and see that there's integrity there. They are privately owned, and that's really important. They've also got John Anderson as the one of the master formulators for most of their products, and he has thousands of patents out there on health and wellness products, and that's who actually designed our products. Also, Isagenix is in the Inc. 5000 for 8 years in a row. It's number 29 in the direct selling company list. It also has received 10 Stevie Awards, and that's really like the Grammy Awards for business in the United States. So it really shows that they have this integrity to do business well. And their motto is really, and their vision is to free people from physical and financial pain. And I think that as a healthcare professional, that's something that we can get behind, because we want to free people from physical pain, that's for sure. And in order to do so, we have to help them with the financial pain as well, because freeing people to have more money to make better healthcare decisions is really important, so that they can eat the foods they need to eat, so that they can get the care they need to get, whether it's more modalities, chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage therapy, personal training, whatever is really necessary to help give them the health that they need. And it's all about really sharing with other people, and that's how this business gets started. So I'll pass it over to Dr. Renata, who is going to talk about getting started.
Thanks, Michelle. And yes, for getting started, this is pretty amazing. I don't know if anyone on this webinar has actually implemented any other kind of programs before into their offices or clinics or not. But basically, the way you get started is for you personally to start using the products to improve your overall health. And once you do, other people are going to be wondering what you're doing, and it's sharing with other people. And through that, you're going to identify potential business partners. And it's important to know what Isagenix does for you. Michelle already went over the quality of the company, the high integrity, the uncompromised product quality that they do stand by in this company. So they have a very high-profile expert research team that you already heard from Dr. Paul about, and they do provide so many services and things to us to minimize the amount of work we need to do with regards to sharing Isagenix with other people. So they do take control of all the product inventory and distribution. They obviously have the payments facilities secured online for people. It goes globally, so it does expand internationally, so everyone can benefit from any international expansion. And for anyone who has had previous products, like ourselves, we've done a previous program. You know, when we got started, I think it cost us like $5,000. They dropped a bunch of products off, a big manual, and said, good luck. You know, to figure things out. You know, with Isagenix, it runs a little bit differently. So we're kind of taken aback when we heard the cost. And frankly, it cost $29 for you to open up an account with Isagenix. And that's $29 a year. So it's equivalent of even cheaper than a Costco membership. And what that does is allows you to order any of the Isagenix products at member. You also get your own personalized multi-million-dollar Isagenix website, and they do have apps and accessibility to all our mobile devices, from iPads, iPhones. They have all the tools necessary to help you grow your Isagenix business, to help share with other people, to make it as simple as possible so that you are not spending, you know, gross amount of times trying to explain things to people. You have the tools accessible that can help explain certain aspects of Isagenix to other people. So the way that we do get our Isagenix products paid for, and the basic compensation plan of Isagenix is called You plus 2, Them plus 2. And it's frankly simple like this. You know, once you get started, you use the products, people in your office might start noticing, family members, colleagues, friends. You know, they might be intrigued in getting started as well and seeing if they can get somewhat similar results as yourself. They start getting changes and they share with 2 people. And at this point already, your products are paid for. So I love to share this, especially, you know, with friends, family, clients even, to say, hey, if you see value in continue with the nutritional products and quality, which, you know, I'm sure after hearing Paul explain it a little more thoroughly, you know, it's obvious of the quality of it. If you see quality and want to continue taking it, you know, I can actually show you how to get your products paid for every month. So, you know, I think it's fantastic. For the last 4 years, oh, not 4 years, last 2.5 years, Paul and I have been receiving, you know, free breakfasts. So we haven't had to pay for that. So I'm actually showing people how to save costs. And that's something that I can't necessarily show them how to do by going to a local supplement store or a GNC or, you know, Popeyes or Whole Foods, etc. But here I can actually show them in a simple way by helping 2 other people get started how they can actually have their products continually paid for, which is a phenomenal aspect of Isagenix in itself. And to actually extend it to start earning extra money on top of that, the process just continues, and it's called the binary system. It's the power of 2. And I'll pass it over to Dr. Michelle, because this is her true passion, the power of 2, and how to grow a residual income.
Awesome. Thanks, Renata. And as you can see from this slide, it is a binary compensation plan. So you're really just building 2 teams is all it means. And that's why it really is the power of 2, because it really just takes 2 people to get started. And I mean, just think about this for a minute. And this is what really kind of put the light bulb over my head, is when somebody shared this with me, is if you can share it with 2 people who say, you know what, yes, I love these products, I'm going to continue using them every month, and you know what, I could share them with 2 people too. Then we've already done You plus 2, Them plus 2 that Renata shared. And if we just keep pushing that forward, so then they share it with 2 people, and they share it with 2 people, and they share it with 2 people, then once we just go 13 levels down, and of course you just enrolled 2 people, so you just shared it with 2 people. Once we've done that, we really are going to earn up to over $700,000 a year, or $27,000 a week, and it's really maxing out our position. And all we did was enroll 2 people who said, yes, I like these products too, and I will use them every month. And I also know 2 people who would like to use these products and continue using them, and we'll share it with 2 people. It's just as simple as that. And I just love that because it really is that power of 2 in sharing it. And it can really create this residual income that adds up over time and really impacts your life in a positive way. And how this really gets tallied up to be $27,000 a week or over $700,000 a year is by 6% of everything that happens below you. And as a healthcare professional, you might be thinking to yourself, well, 6%, that's not really that much. You know, I'm used to marking up my supplements 30 to 50%. But you have to remember that this is 6% off everything that's happening below you. And so this is not 6% of who you enroll. This is 6% of who you enroll, they enroll, then those person enroll, all the way down. And that's what adds up. Just like I said, you know, we started by just helping about 140, 150 people get started with Isagenix, but over 6,000 people are on our team. So we're actually making 6% off 6,000 people versus 140 people. And so that's true in our offices as well. And sure, we can mark up a supplement and make 30 to 50%, but that's only good for the people that actually walk into our clinic. And if you just look at an example of even, you know, gross income versus net income, if you think about in your practice, if you gross $10,000 a month, you know, really the first $5,000 to $6,000 of that is already out the door before you even get paid $1. And that's because we've got overhead. You've got to pay your rent. You've got to pay your CA. You have to pay insurances. You've got to pay different expenses, utilities that come up. Whereas with this, your overall cost to generate an income with this company is approximately $200 a month. And that's in product that you can then go ahead and resell in your clinic or consume personally. And so when you look at that, if I were to gross $10,000 with Isagenix, at the end of the day, I'm really taking home, you know, $9,800. And that's what is really so exciting about this opportunity, is that it's just a different form of doing business, right? It's not a traditional selling model. It's not about inventory, right? Sometimes we sell these supplements and we could have thousands of dollars of supplements sitting in our office. Not with this, you know. We don't have to be there for deliveries because it goes right to the person's house. We don't have employees that we have to pay in order to orchestrate all of this. There's no schedule, no overhead. And that's what's great. You know, I have 4 children. I'm still practicing as a chiropractor. And I've been able to build this 6-figure residual income in the pockets of my time because it's flexible. It might be 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, an hour there. And what's really important for everybody on this call to understand is we know you don't want another business. I didn't want another business either. I am busy enough doing what I'm doing already. I don't need another make work project. And that's what Renata and I are here to offer you, is that we have systems and tools that have gotten us to 6-figure incomes with this company. And now, in turn, we want to share that with you. And we want to help you also achieve a 6-figure residual income by just plugging in to the tools and systems that we've already created to help you be successful. And this is global. So we're not just talking about our little town now. We're talking about who do you know in Puerto Rico, Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Colombia, Vietnam, Mexico. All of these different countries we're able to now serve and help people in and make a difference. I mean, imagine you could actually affect the health and the wealth of thousands of people outside of your community and create a legacy that, you know, many, many people are going to benefit from. And the time is now, right? You may have heard of Isagenix. You may have had a patient come in, another healthcare professional, somebody come in the past and say, oh, I'm doing Isagenix, maybe this is for you. And you might be thinking this is saturated or this is, you know, a thing of the past, but it's not. Look at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie, right? Look at 2011 to 2014, just that exponential growth. And this year we're on track to do over $1 billion in sales. So no, we're not a thing of the past. We're a thing of the future. And this is a company that's innovative, looking to get into more countries. There's really only 450,000 active associates in Isagenix right now. That's less than the city of Toronto. I mean, the opportunity here is really endless. And that's what's so exciting, is that this is the time. There's never been a better time to get into Isagenix. There's more money to be made. There's more tools and systems to be utilizing. That this is when it is. So I will just pass it over to Dr. Renata, who's just going to share with us how to get started.
Thanks, Dr. Michelle, and I love hearing the numbers. You can hear the passion, the voice, and you know, I love this opportunity that's available to everybody, frankly. So, you know, whoever did send you to this webinar, please, you know, connect with them back, because obviously you're going to still probably have some more questions and need some more clarity, and maybe think of if you actually want to implement it into your practice, or actually want to start it but not have it in your practice directly and grow it outside of your practice. There's so many options, and so many of us healthcare practitioners have done it both ways, both by either incorporating into our existing practices or not even implementing them into the existing practices, but going beyond those walls in itself. So do reach out to the person who did send you to this webinar, and to find out, you know, exactly the best way for you personally to be getting started. And you know, both Michelle and I and Paul, we're all here to help you guys reach your goals. We're all part of the same team, and you know, our mission and our passion is to help other healthcare practitioners, you know, have access to helping people beyond the walls of their clinics, to have access to, you know, living a little more time freedom, because I know how hard we all do work, and life is short, and we just, you know, are really coming together. We've created the systems, we've created the tools, like Dr. Michelle has already mentioned, and we're so excited to help other people, you know, start establishing goals and start reaching for them, because frankly, the sky's the limit. If I could tell you where, you know, my thought process was 2 years ago to where it is now, it has changed like 1,000%, and you know, opportunities are just ahead of us, all of us. So, you know, we really look forward to connecting with all of you. We are going to be sure to follow up with everyone who did join us today on today's webinar, and have a great rest of the night. Bye-bye.